Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, past the Retro. You know what it is.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
Going on over here? Talk to me. What we got going on?
We got the Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, Four Corners runs. Andre, Highway Dre.
Highway Dre
has completed not only North Carolina,
Yes, sir.
but he went on and did South Carolina. Just because he was in the vicinity.
Right.
It got so nice to him, he wanted to get where it was a little bit warmer, so he went on down to get him a few oranges. And a slice of key lime pie down in Florida.
I did.
But he also stopped by to get some peach cobbler while he was in the area. So he went to Georgia and did the Four Corners there as well.
Oh my word.
So, Highway Dre, we love you, bro. Appreciate you.
Hey, look.
Yeah,
let me tell you why I do this.
Okay.
Why do you wait? I got a question. Why do you do this?
Why do you tell them why you do it?
Because I can.
Because
Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. It's your boy Retro. Let you know that registration for Mission 448 is open. You can register today and ride the four corners of your state or multiple states. Who's going to be the first to collect the four corners of each of the lower 48 states? Hashtag Who's Got Next. Register today and ride the four corners of your state.
You already know what it is. It's your homegirl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he ain't never lying.
Yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice. And I'll be glad in it because he's been better to me than I've been to myself. He's been better to me than you could ever be, you know, and I know you cool and everything like that. But I mean, me and this God, man, I mean, we just got a thing going on. Who was the song that said we got a thing going on, me and Mrs. Jones? But Miss Jones ain't got nothing on what me and God got going on, because he just wake me up every morning. He put breath in my body, you know, life, health, and strength. And I mean, I tell you, he's a way maker. He's a wheel in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna mess around and have some church up in here. We keep on talking about God. But it's the Retro Philosophy Show, so you already know how we get down. We roll with God and all that good stuff. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys had a great day, man. I had a long day, man. Oh my goodness, it was a really long day, and I still didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done. But tomorrow's another day. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Tonight we're going to be having a very interesting conversation, a conversation that is necessary, a conversation that is needful, very important, and it's time that we, you know, have now some of us we have it because we were forced to, and then there are others who think, well, it won't happen to me, so but we're going to talk about it tonight. We have special guests with us on tonight. right? Dr. Duchess, or should I say Dr. Lisa, aka Dr. Duchess, and so she has a very interesting story that we're going to dig into and learn a little bit about Dr. Duchess and what taking it all back really means. So without any further ado, first and foremost, I need you to put some thumbs up in the little thingy thing there, whether you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, or I might even have a few of my friends from MySpace watching too, because we just cool like that. Maybe even somebody from y'all remember Periscope and MySpace and okay, enough of me. Laughter is like medicine to the soul, but at any rate, I digress. Let's welcome to the Retro Philosophy Show for the very first time, the one and only Dr. Duchess. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make her feel welcome here on the Retro Philosophy Show. Dr. Duchess, how are you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right. Here. Well, we're glad to have you. Yeah, we are excited to have you. So we'll just jump right into this thing. Go ahead and introduce yourself, if you don't mind, please.
Again, I'm Dr. Lisa Jackson. I hold a PhD in health sciences. Unknown caller. I'm a mother, and I have 3 grown sons.
Okay.
I love animals. So I have dogs, cats, chickens around here.
Holy moly.
I live in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Originally from Los Angeles, and I'm also a Belizean, so I'm a dual citizen. And
nice.
People that follow me, they know I'm an avid fisherman, camper, and rider.
Okay. Now, out of all the things that you do, if you had to put one in front of the other one, what would go in front? Would it be camping, fishing, motorcycling? Which one would it be?
I've been motorcycling a long time.
Okay.
I would have to say once I got that piece from fishing, that's my number one hobby.
Okay. So number fishing gives you peace, huh?
Yes.
Okay. What is it about fishing that gives you peace?
I think just feeling like I'm one with nature and God. You're watching the sky, the movement of the clouds. You're listening to fish jump out the water, the movement of water. And for me, fishing allows me to get out my head. In my career, I'm very analytical, so I was always solving problems. And fishing allows me to not think about things.
So
just enjoy what's around me.
So what does motorcycling do?
The same thing.
Okay. Because the reason why I asked that, Dr. Duchess, is because, for some people, the motorcycle gets them in their head. They're at one with their thoughts, and it's just so a lot of times, and for myself as well, when I'm going, sometimes I can almost get lost because I'm so lost in thought. You know what I mean? But when you said fishing gets you out of your head, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because with motorcycling and for fishing for me, I'm enjoying the surrounding, the environment, the things that I see. And that's what gets me to focus on the nature and outside of my head. I'm tired of being left to my thoughts.
Hey, look here. I can get it. I can understand. You mentioned your profession. What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm semi-retired, so I'm a flight attendant, so I can fly around the world in my free time.
Yeah.
But in my previous profession, I was the chief academic officer and college professor at an HBCU here in Terrell, Texas.
Okay. Beautiful. So how long have you been motorcycling?
About 27 years.
Okay.
I grew up in a family where my mom rode, my auntie rode, my sister rides. So I grew up around it. I was riding state lines on the back of a Kawasaki with my mom back in the day.
Back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. I got an old school Kawasaki. I got it a little while ago. The intention was to ride it across country. But I ended up going with a Goldwing. I ended up picking up a 1975 Goldwing, and I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm doing the Retro's Nifty 50/50 Classic Adventure. So I'll be 50 years old. So it'll be a 50-year-old on a 50-year-old motorcycle riding Route 50 end to end. So that's why I'm celebrating my 50th. Yeah.
That's a good way to bring it in.
Yeah. But enough about me. Tonight is all about you. So what do you ride?
I'm on a 2023 Road Glide Limited.
Okay. So you gliding. You gliding. You got the right glide.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
I ain't gonna tell you, I'm spoiled.
yeah. Yes,
I was on a
indeed.
street glide for 2018 street glide for 6 years before I switched to a road glide.
Okay.
And I'm mad that I didn't do it sooner.
Right. I can understand that. I
Mhm.
can certainly understand that. I sure can. All right. So you said dogs, cats, chickens. What else you got?
So that's enough. I got I
Yeah.
got
It is.
two
You
dogs,
got your own
two
petting zoo.
cats. Yeah, we got this is Old McDuchess farm around here.
Okay.
And two roosters, seven hens right now.
Okay. So, I was having a conversation the other day, and ladies and gentlemen, again, we've got the one and only Dr. Duchess with us. We're talking tonight about taking it all back. As you can figure and see, she is a cancer survivor. We're going to jump into that here in just a moment. But Duchess, I was having a conversation the other day with an individual, and we ended up talking about the possibility of, not so much the end of the world, but if it came down to it, a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive if they didn't have their Walmarts, Targets, and food lines and things like that. How important is it to grow our own food and to know how to do those kinds of things?
Well, one, even speaking on cancer, we need to be more
Exactly.
healthy and know where our food is going. And it's funny that I got cancer, I had cancer when I was the one that rarely wore lotion and watched what deodorant I use, what body wash I use because of the carcinogens that's in everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do garden, and then my eggs, and then I fish. So it is very important to know where your food is coming from.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you gotten into gardening more so after your battle with cancer, or how did that play out?
I've actually been gardening for about 6 years already anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to garden for other things. So starting last year, I started growing tomatoes. I normally didn't eat tomatoes, but then I was buying pasta sauce, I was buying pizza sauce. So I learned how to use the tomatoes that I grew to make those other things. So this year, my goal is to learn how to can them so that I can save them from later. And I also share the things that I produce. My garden fish, I also share with the community as well.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Are you in a small community, large community? What kind of community are you in?
I'm in a small
Okay,
community.
yeah.
I'm in Dallas County. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Lancaster, Texas, which is just south of Dallas.
Okay. They used to have the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, which I do believe in. But do you feel we've lost our village?
Personally, I would say no. From what I experienced, the people around me, we always rally together to help
Mm-hmm.
each other out, whether it's people we know or strangers. So here in the Dallas community, I haven't experienced that.
Okay,
Could we do
okay.
more? Could other people do more? I would say yes.
Yeah. I would agree with that as well. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. Growing up as a young child.
I grew up in a Belizean household.
Mm-hmm.
With my grandmother raised me and my sister. My mom went off to the military. And then once she got settled back in the United States, I went from base to base, Fort Knox, Fort Leonard Wood. My mom was a drill sergeant. So
Okay.
that can tell you a little bit about my upbringing.
Yeah.
It was strict.
Uh huh.
Um, we were sheltered by my grandmother and strict with my mom.
Nice.
Um, my father was out of the picture for the first 19 years, but I knew him for the next 21 years.
Beautiful.
Um, but I was brought up in a household that I was taught that I can be anything that I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And by my family being immigrants, my grandmother always told us take advantage of all the opportunities this country has to offer. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I've been able to do so much. And my grandmother promoted education. She would say tree, but if I say tree, she gonna correct me, say no, it's three for you.
Right.
So
You can't say
yeah,
tree,
yeah, exactly. You got that's why I don't have an accent. She wouldn't
Yeah.
allow us. We're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
we were We weren't taught the language. Um, but I definitely can say I've had a good life, a good upbringing, a lot of life lessons that I learned early on.
Hmm.
And
Well, your smile speaks to that. There's a lot of smiles, Dr. Duchess, but not all of them
yeah,
are authentic. Not all of them speak volumes, and
hmm
so you have a very your smile is unique. It's warm. It's authentic. You know what I mean?
thank,
Yeah.
thank
No.
you.
True story. True story. Let me ask you a couple questions, Dr. Duchess.
hmm
You mentioned that your dad was not in the picture initially. Was there
hmm
a male figure that stepped in or stood in, or how was that growing up without dad in the picture?
I had two uncles that lived in the household with me,
Hmm.
but I come from a very matriarch family, and so
Okay.
the women just ran everything.
Okay. 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 So 19 years later, you reunite with dad. How was that experience?
It was good because I needed some questions answered because the Belizean grandmother that raised me was his mom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, so that meant he was out of her life too during that time.
Wow.
So I had a lot of questions, but he was very, very open and transparent with why he left.
Hmm.
And I couldn't focus on the past, and I wanted a future with him. And we had the best relationship until he passed away from cancer as well,
Man, my condolences. How long ago was that?
2010.
2010. Okay. So what year was it that you came down with cancer, that you found out you had cancer?
This year, on April the 21st, I found out I
Okay.
had breast cancer.
Okay. 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 What kind did dad die with?
His was small red cell lung cancer.
Okay. 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 Um,
So it's
so,
not hereditary.
okay. All right. All right. So when you got news from the doctor, were there any signs leading up to it? Was there any sickness or any concerns, or was it just went to see the doctor and all of a sudden, bada boom, bada bang?
Well, I'm one that always go to the VA every year to get my annual mammogram,
Mm-hmm.
and I went on February the 3rd. And a week later, my primary care doctor calls personally herself and say they couldn't read the mammogram, so they're going to call you to reschedule. And when they
Mm-hmm.
do, they're going to do an ultrasound. She made it seem like there was nothing wrong, nothing to be
Right.
concerned about. So about a few days later, the VA called. They couldn't fit me back in for 3 months, not until
Wow.
April the 21st. But if anybody's a veteran, they go to the VA, they know that if the VA cannot get you in for a doctor appointment within 30 days, they would
Mm-hmm.
choice you out into the community. If I thought there was any inkling that there was a suspicious mass, I would have asked been choiced out 30 days out within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go back on April the 21st. And it's funny because I was about to no show this appointment because I was actually in class to become a flight attendant instructor. So I didn't
Okay.
want to miss it. But I
Right.
said, you know what? My health is more important. So I went on to the mammogram and they did the ultrasound. And that's when they told me that, they saw the suspicious mass on February the 3rd. And I'm like, and y'all didn't tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I had an aggressive form. Is triple negative, which means it's aggressive. It's called invasive ductal carcinoma. It's where the tumor is outside of the milk ducts. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes it invasive. It's invasive into the breast tissue
Mm-hmm.
outside of the duct. And triple negative is very common amongst African American women. It just means it's aggressive. It means that it cannot be treated with any hormone therapy.
Okay. Okay. So what's going through your mind now that you finally get in and you find out what you're dealing with? Um, what's going through your mind? How is that affecting you?
On that day that I found out,
Yes, ma'am.
so on that Monday the 21st, when I found out, they told me that they're pretty sure it's cancer. They was going to get me in 2 days to do a biopsy to confirm it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just sent me out the door, like no
Wow.
support, no chaplain, nothing. You hear you have cancer. because she was adamant it is cancer. We just don't know which kind until we do the biopsy.
Right.
So I go out to the parking lot. I'm sitting in my truck and I'm bawling at this point. So I text
Understandably.
my so I text my girls on a group text and just say, "Hey, I have breast cancer." And at that moment, while I'm bawling in the truck, my friend, who's a fellow veteran, Kim, she
Hmm.
just happened to walk past my truck.
Wow.
Just happened to, yes. And when she came and just gave me a hug, embraced me, and then now my phone blowing up from all ladies. But it's difficult to hear that C word.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The first thought was, "Am I going to die?"
Hmm.
I took it to the extreme, but that's
Yeah.
what you feel because you don't know.
Right. Wow. So you're wondering whether or not you're going to die. The C word, as we often refer to it, is it's such a intimidating word. We hear so many stories of our loved ones not surviving it, myself included. I lost my dad to cancer several years ago. And
Sorry to hear that.
thank you. He was a very healthy guy all his life, always, in good shape. He was very active, and, this doesn't happen to dad. You know what I mean? So after dealing with the thoughts and the questions, whether or not you're going to die, whether or not you're going to make it, did you have a mental plan of action to deal with this thing, or what was your approach?
Well, for the next 2 days, I was really out of it.
Hmm.
But I didn't try to overthink it because all I knew was I had breast cancer. So in 2 days, I went and had my biopsy, and at that point, the ladies around me um, rallied together. And on my cancer support team, one of the ladies, Regina, happens to work in the breast cancer imaging center at the hospital where I was going to later be
Okay.
treated. And she like, "Sis, I worked there." And from that day, from the day of my biopsy, she told me, "Go get this, and this." She came to my house. She picked everything up, took it back to UT Southwestern. She picked out my surgical oncologist for me. She picked out my medical oncologist for me. She scheduled my appointments, my imaging, my MRI. She got everything done in 2 days that would have took me 2 months at
Wow.
the VA.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's the type of people I have around me. And so at that point, I felt more empowered to like, okay, we're gonna fight. That's why on my shirt it says, "Cancer, I promise to fight," because I
Hmm.
can't let my kids down, my grandkids down, my friends down. I have to fight.
Gotta fight.
And then when you got friends like the mileage bully, she's on my cancer support team,
Hmm.
and she told me, "Sis, you got 5 minutes." Cause I'll call and be ready to cry and talk about, this. And she like, "Sis, you got 5 minutes." And
so,
that means you got 5 minutes to be in your feelings and you got to get back to fighting.
wow, she just so rough. Just 5 minutes. You can't get 7 or 10. Just
Right.
just
Well, one
five.
time I had to tell her I needed 15 one
Okay,
time,
there you
but
go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Shaquilla ain't no joke, man.
but you need people like that
You
on your
do. You
team.
do. You do. You
Yeah.
do. You do. Because sometimes
I
you
got
just
some
want to.
crybabies on my team too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they all can be. You know what I mean? They all can be.
Exactly. Exactly.
Big shout out to FHO Stacks in the building. He said you have my support with anything that you need.
Oh yeah, Stacks has come through for me, and
Yeah,
he's one of my biggest supporters.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Let me ask you this, Duchess, Dr. Duchess. Your girls came through for you. She helped you make sure everything gets processed in a timely manner and so on and so forth. You got your support team. Why is that? Why is it that people are doing this for Dr. Duchess? Who is Dr. Duchess that would cause people to do this kind of a thing?
I mean, I think that's for them to say. I know what they tell me.
Uh huh.
Um, I can just say I've been there for all of them.
Yeah.
I've been there for my community. I support on the motorcycle set.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been this way, not expecting anything in return. So it's a wonderful feeling when you get it back tenfold.
Yes, it is indeed. It is
Yeah.
indeed. It is indeed.
And I have to give a major shout out to this motorcycle world. Inherently, we're taught to support. We go to each other's annuals and events to support and fellowship. And in doing that in all these years that I've been riding, they
Mm-hmm.
definitely stood up for me. When I say they came out and supported and fought for me, I've been off work for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually returning to flying on Saturday,
Okay.
and I did not have to worry about anything in 6 months. And 6 days after I was diagnosed on Sunday, because my friends were like, "Hey, let's go camping and fishing to take your mind off the breast cancer," I
Yeah.
break my leg in two places.
Oh my
So
goodness.
now I'm going through chemo, can't walk, can't have surgery because of risk of blood clots. So
Yeah.
that's how my cancer journey went. So I couldn't
Wow.
walk for I had 12 weeks of healing
Uh-huh.
for the leg. I have 12 weeks of chemo. I said that's nothing but God trying to sit my butt down.
Well, I mean, first of all, let me say this. I think it's interesting that you would word it the way you just worded it. Because again, some people would see the negative and be like, "Oh, why me? Why me? Why me?" But sometimes you got to take a bad situation and see the positive in it. Would you agree?
Definitely, the devil don't test bad people. I think
Mm-hmm.
you have to be worthy to be tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been tested on this journey again. Like I said, 6 days later, I break my leg, and that's because that first week I'm ready to fight. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna work, how I'm gonna pay for this, how I'm gonna get to this appointment. I'm trying to figure it all out. When he broke my leg, I had to become very humble. My
Yeah.
ladies came, they had to clean my bathroom, cook my food. I had people like Pops from Unleashed Beast sending me food on an app. I had set up for Meal Train. My classmate Nita sent food. DeLoca, she one of my biker friends would meal prep for me. Regina would meal prep for me every week. So I didn't go without anything during that time.
Okay. Okay. That's a beautiful thing. Yvonne
Mhm.
says she's always there for others. A real one. Yeah.
Now, Mrs. Cabby Vaughn, she's on my cancer support team.
Okay, okay, okay. Here go
Yeah.
this old mean lady that only gave you 5 minutes. What's she saying? Let's see what she says. Her entire care team had to had the WWE Duchess on the regular. She is not an ideal patient at all. Okay, okay. So
No,
the truth
I'm,
comes out, huh, Dr. Duchess?
yeah, I'm hard headed. But they can tell me, though. They can tell me that, though.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is what's up. So chemo, how was the chemo? I know different people have different reactions and different, outcomes and everything. How was that experience for you?
My experience was actually best case scenario on multiple fronts. Um, I lost my hair, but I've turned that into a positive aspect. I
Mm-hmm.
lost my hair at week 3. For maybe 3 out of the 12 weeks, day 3 or 4, I get a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8, I was actually tired the entire week. It just makes you really fatigued.
Okay.
Special K, she took me to all my chemo appointments because again, I couldn't walk
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't drive after chemo. Each chemo session was about 5 hours total,
Wow.
once a week. Yeah. But I got more sick after chemo from
Mm-hmm.
the immunotherapy than I did during chemo.
Now the chemo, I take it was the radiation procedure.
No, chemo is an infusion of two drugs
Oh, okay.
to fight the cancer. And actually, after week 3 of chemo, the tumor was gone. The
Okay.
tumor was
Okay.
gone. I'm telling you, the power
Look
of
at
prayer.
God.
And I
Yeah.
asked people, I made
Wow.
a public cry to ask people not just to pray for me. I want them to
Uh-huh.
know what I was going through, call my name out. And
Mm-hmm.
man, in 3 weeks, um, I hollered because that doctor said, I don't even feel the tumor anymore.
Let's stop the bus for a moment, Dr. Duchess, and let's put it in park and talk about what you just said. Because what you just said, I believe is top notch, OG, just real deal behavior. Now there are some people, and let me just say what I'm talking about. you said you told people what you were going through. You requested prayer, but some people they would get real secretive when they have different situations like that. Why didn't you take the route of just being silent with just your immediate team to go through this thing? Why would you put a cry out like that in such a manner?
You know, the mileage bully had just talked about transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And to add to that, transparency leads to accountability. And I want to be held accountable to fight. I didn't know what the road ahead of me was going to look like. I've only seen worst case scenarios when it comes to chemo and having cancer, you know, over the toilet, nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I want to make sure that I got up every day
Okay.
to fight. And when you share your story, you're going to have people calling, you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
people checking on you every day. Now I got to respond.
Come on
So
now.
it kept me active. It kept me engaged in my fight. And again, I say, and that's when my logo came from. My slogan with cancer, I promise. I
Mm-hmm.
promise to promote early detection. I promise to fight every day. Um, and that's where it came from. Because one day I was just sitting, I'm like, cancer, I promise I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna continue to fight.
Now, are those shirts available for purchase? Stacks is inquiring as well. So if anybody's watching and they want to get one of those shirts, are they able to order those from you?
Yes, I'll be setting up something for them to order that along with the wristbands. I got Cancer I
Okay.
Promise wristbands coming in. I have stickers. And then thanks to Low Key, he got me some patches of my logo made
Okay.
just yesterday. So
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
getting ready to have some stuff out because I need people to understand that yes, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it won't stop come tomorrow. You're gonna still hear Dr. Duchess talking and preaching about this all year long. Um, I had a conversation with Dr. Woodruff, my surgical oncologist, and she said next year I want to plug you in with this event for breast cancer over in South Dallas, which is majority African Americans. And she
Mm-hmm.
said every year we bring out 70-some-year-old white women to talk to young black women about breast cancer. You know that we're not going to the doctors. We're going to wait until it's too late. It's going to be stage 3, stage 4 by the time they go in. My goal is to reach somebody so that they will go get the mammogram, get tested, do genetic testing to know if they're predisposed um, for cancer genetically, because
Mm-hmm.
there's things that can be done to lower the risk.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Why is it that our people seem not to want to go to the doctors? Do you believe there's a theory to it? Do you believe there's a rhyme or reason to it? What would be your answer to such a question, Doctor Duchess?
I mean, history has shown us, from different experiments in our past, not to trust doctors until we have to, and then we trust them wholeheartedly, and that's a whole other discussion because then we
Yeah.
shouldn't trust them wholeheartedly. I even challenged my doctors during this process, but we do not go to the doctor until we um, have to. And by the time, for breast cancer anyway, by the time you feel a large enough lump or you feel the pain from that lump, it will be a stage 3 or stage 4
Wow.
situation. Doesn't
And
mean it's not curable.
right.
It's just going to take more.
Yeah, early detection is key, and someone stated that earlier in the broadcast as well. Let's talk about your care for a quick minute. How was your doctors? I mean, how did you feel?
Oh, I had a great medical staff. My surgical oncologist performed my lumpectomy. Before that, my chemo is under the direction of a medical oncologist,
Hmm.
and she recommended immunotherapy, which is Keytruda is the commercial that you see for the drug, and those two together, treating aggressively every week, is what saved my life. Again, after week 3, my tumor was gone. But the
That's
way they
amazing.
so people out, ask, and I even asked the question, if I have a small tumor, my tumor was only 1.4 centimeters, meaning I could not feel it or detect it in a self-examination. They had to show me where it was to feel it. So
Hmm.
it's really small. Could I have just had surgery and no chemo? And the way they explained it to me was that if you have cancer, a tumor, that means there's cancer throughout your body. So the
Wow.
chemo was to kill the dormant cells throughout my body. It wasn't just for the tumor in my breast. And then after 12 weeks of chemo, 3 weeks later, I had the lumpectomy. They tested the tissue and I had a complete response, meaning that there was no abnormal cells. So that means the cancer from the tumor was completely gone. I have 5 days of radiation to do, which I'll do in probably 2 weeks,
Okay.
and that will
Wow.
get anything else or to lessen your chance. It's supposed to cut it in half. I did genetic testing
Mm-hmm.
and it tests for 85 different cancer markers, and it determined that I had no abnormalities for cancer. So that means it's not hereditary.
Okay.
So this is environmental, and I have theories for possibly how I got that. Um, so with the genetic testing, since it is environment, there's nothing that I need to do to lower my risk. So
Okay.
after I finish radiation, my risk of recurrence go back to the normal population as if I never had it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hmm.
Now you mentioned you had a few theories. You care to elaborate on any or some of them, or enlighten us?
Uh,
Inquiring minds would like to know.
well, again, I have a PhD in health sciences, so I'm a trained researcher.
Okay.
And I went and I looked at some studies. I became a flight attendant a year ago.
Okay.
And when I did some studies, I found out that female flight attendants have a higher risk. One report was 50% higher of getting breast cancer because of the flame retardant material that the planes are made out of, the chemicals that they use to clean it. So when we do our flights, I go out for 4 days,
Uh huh.
3 nights, and get somewhere that night. Normally leave out early in the morning. The plane has been closed up. They done clean place chemicals, and then when you walk on the plane, so even when I go back to flying, I have to wear a mask
Wow.
uh, on the plane. You also enclosed with other people on the plane. Just traveling, the pressure. So there were several different theories for it, but it's hard to pinpoint because it's not like, oh, I bumped my head on the plane, I got cancer. So
Right.
there's
Right.
no
Right.
cause and effect to it. So how do you prove it? But when I look at my life and all the things that I use, the like I told you, the shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
um, the body wash, deodorant, lotion, the food that I eat, nothing really changed in my life in the past year other than flying.
Mm.
And with the cancer only being 1.4 centimeters, it was relatively new.
Right.
And another important fact I want to talk about with mammograms and talking about size,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why you want to get a mammogram every year, because even if you got a mammogram one day and that cancer activated the next day, a year later, that will still be early stage.
Mm. Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, and that came from my oncologist. So
Gotcha.
it's a reason you got to get it every year.
Every year. Now,
Every
okay,
year.
let me play the devil's advocate. You know, there's a young lady. She has, cancer runs in her family. She's concerned, but she doesn't have health care. She doesn't have money. What can a person in that situation do? Are they just, SOL, or are there resources? Are there programs? Are you familiar with any of those?
Yes, every community has either a mammogram bus, they have public health clinics, but there is no reason a female or a male that has any breast concerns should not be able to get a mammogram. There are free resources, and the Mileage Bully actually just posted a list of those on her website. I mean, on her Facebook page.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, you just Google mammogram. Somebody is offering. There's a bus pulling up somewhere
Hmm.
in every community.
So whether or not
So
you
that's
have,
not an excuse.
so whether or not you have health care is not an excuse for you just can't do it. It's not an excuse.
Yeah. So let's talk about what excuses people do give.
Okay, let's do
Um,
that.
Women seem to put everybody and everything before their health.
Hmm.
Again, I even said, "Oh, I'm just gonna no show this appointment today because I thought being in class to be a flight attendant instructor was more important." until I had to wake him like, no, I probably need to go since this is a follow up, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It does not take that long. For some women, they say that it hurts, but it's a minor, a short inconvenience. Would you rather know early, have it curable, treatable? I only had to do 12 weeks of chemo. If I was stage two, three, or four, it would have been 6 months or more of chemo,
Mm-hmm.
longer radiation, and the effects of those on your body is worse. So if you're going to get it, you cannot prevent cancer. You cannot prevent breast cancer. You can lower your risk. You can detect it early so that your treatment plan will be
Mm-hmm.
better for you and your body.
Since you mentioned that, Doctor Duchess, can you explain, as Shaquila is asking, the stages 1 versus 2, 3, and 4?
So when I looked up the different stages, I was stage one, which means that my tumor was less than 2 centimeters. I know
Okay.
stage two is over 2 centimeters. I don't know the specific of stage three, but stage four is normally when it metastasized to the lymph nodes or outside of the breast area or to other areas of tissue or organs. It's
Okay.
normally stage four. A lot of times they say stage four is uncurable, but I've seen a post where somebody is living 25 years with stage four.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Down in Killeen, Texas, last week I read an article, a lady actually beat stage four cancer,
Wow. Wow.
but she has to go, you got to go be more aggressive and it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
more. So if you had to go through treatment, why wouldn't you want to do the least amount as possible?
I know that's right. I'm with you on that.
So,
So
so it's
stages
better to
one,
know.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like the proverbial ostrich sticking his head in the sand. Just because you don't see the danger doesn't mean it's not there.
Mhm.
So stages 1, 2, 3, and 4 is so it's not so much just the size of the tumor, as it is the aggression of the tumor. Is that correct assumption?
Yeah, aggression. There's also what they call grade levels, grade one through four. Like my cancer as triple negative was grade three, which means it's moderately aggressive.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's more to how they define the cancer, whether it's non-invasive or it's invasive.
Hmm.
Um, so it's other things that go into it.
Doctor, excuse me, Mrs. Adrian Royalty. She's asking, do you think they should make the age requirement lower? I think she's referring to the age in which you should get checked, as what I would think she's referring to. Is there an
I
age?
can't speak. I can't speak on why it starts at 40.
Hmm.
But what I have heard is that there's women in their 20s and 30s that raise a concern to their doctors, and their doctors are dismissing it. I have a problem with that.
Wow.
If you feel that you need a mammogram when you're younger than 40, go get one. You own your health, so you need to go get one and you demand it. Um, I don't want you to dismiss your health, and your doctors definitely should not dismiss your health. I'm pretty sure that 40 is an issue with cost. If you
Hmm.
had everybody that's starting at 30 every year doing it, it's going to raise the cost. So I'm pretty sure that probably plays a role in it. But you have to own your health and empower yourself. We talked about self examinations. I've heard of teenagers getting breast cancer. Teenagers.
Wow.
So it has to start with self examinations at home. If you find something, then you demand a mammogram. Do
Um,
not wait till you're 40.
what about men? Is breast cancer something that men can get? I know.
Yes. I actually had, and that's one thing with also sharing my journey with people and being so public about
Hmm.
what I'm going through. I only had breast cancer, so I can only speak to what I have. But I had a friend from high school who reached out to me and said, "Sis, I have to go get a biopsy because they think I might have breast cancer."
Wow.
Um, yeah, and that's somebody that I knew personally.
Hmm.
But sharing my journey, I've heard from so many people come through my DM that said, since you shared it, now I'm sharing. There's people that I knew
Hmm.
personally that I didn't even know they were struggling with cancer
Wow.
until they saw I yeah. So sharing your story can help somebody else. Um,
That's I'm almost at a loss of words, because I know if I was going through something like that, I would want my family and my friends to know what I'm dealing with, because it helps them understand where I'm at and why I am where I at where I am and why I am where I'm at. you know And I love the way you said it, Dr. Duchess. It made you show up to fight. It was a level of accountability, if you will. And I love it. So shout out to you for taking that stand. And so, how did it feel when now you're beginning to get the phone call saying, "Hey, because you shared your story, I want to share with you my story." How did that make you feel?
you know, it made me feel like I think I'm fulfilling a new purpose, because my purpose in life that I came to realize was that I was very resourceful
Mm-hmm.
and to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took a group of ladies to my home of Belize last December, and I told them, I said, y'all, I turned 55 last year, and I said, 2025 is going to be epic. But we know God got a sense of humor, and I think I need to be a little bit more specific, when I said it was going to be epic, because this
Yeah,
has been an epic year.
yeah.
But me and Shakila have some in-depth conversation, and I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I feel like he's trying to repurpose me for something, like my purpose has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I needed to go through this. That's why I probably had the best case scenario, because I needed to go through this process so I can learn it, understand it, feel it, internalize it, so that I can help somebody in this journey.
Mm.
So when I get it back from people, it makes me feel like that's what it is. Um, I saw something today said God formation. And that's when you get God's confirmation, because we know that He talks to you in different ways. He ain't just saying, "Hey, Lisa, I need you to do this."
Mm-hmm.
So I need that God formation in other ways to
Mm.
know if that's what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and it feels so right. And I had a lady reach out to me, and she did share a story publicly, but she told me, she said, I went through breast cancer treatment alone. She's married and she had kids. She said, my husband was successful in his job. My kids were thriving in school, and I didn't want to take that away from her. So she said they knew she had it, but she went to treatments by herself. She suffered in silence, is what she said, for the sake
Wow.
of them. That's how,
I don't know how to
we don't
process
know
that, Dr. Duchess.
we don't know where women are in their life, their mental state, when they get diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
We don't.
So I didn't ask
We
you earlier in the interview or anything, but are you married?
no, no.
Okay. Where were the kids for you, or while you were going through this?
So my youngest son, who's 24, lives here, and he's helped out.
Mm-hmm.
He actually he went and got a second job,
Mm-hmm.
working 7 days a week to help out, and finally he was able to quit his job today, because I told him I'm going back to work on Saturday. And
Nice.
then my oldest son, who's 38, when I broke my leg, he came and he took care of me and took me all of my orthopedic appointments during that time. So
Nice.
they came home to help mama out.
Okay, okay, okay. You mentioned earlier about your grandmother. She seemed to be a very strong presence in your life. Is she still with us?
No, my grandmother passed away 5 years ago.
Okay, my condolences. It seems like she made an impact on your life, though, and left you with a lot of, legacy and just a lot of, things to build on. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes. And
Yeah.
then I just lost my mom this summer during chemo.
Oh man, Duchess, I'm sorry. My condolences.
Yeah, I told you it's been a year.
Yeah, it's
And
been a year. It's been
and
a
still
year,
I smile,
and
because
still you smile.
it's
They say,
always something to smile about.
yeah, that is definitely true. That is true, and I think that's something that we have to tell ourselves more often. The Bible says that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. And so I think the key to that verse is to do the best that we can to live righteous. That doesn't mean you're going to do everything right all the time, but
Hmm.
you can still strive to be righteous. And
Correct.
if we do so, he will deliver us out of everything.
Hmm.
So, where are
And
you at with your relationship with the Lord? Do you have a, I know everybody has different, religious beliefs and backgrounds and things of that nature, but do you care to share your point of view on religion?
yes, I'm a member of Church of Christ, Cedar
Mm-hmm.
Valley Church of Christ here in Lancaster. Have been most of my life,
Mm-hmm.
which is non-denominational, but I have a strong faith and believer, never question why through this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And I relied on my faith. I relied on prayer, positivity. And you can't just start that when you're going through something that you perceive as bad. It has to
Say
already
that.
be in
It's
you.
got to
Yep.
already be in you. You right about that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You right about that.
And
Leads me to another question or point to bring up, because again, you're smiling through this, even as you're still talking about some of the bad things that you had to experience, such as the loss of loved ones. But there are some people in your position, or who would have been in your position, that would have chosen to get mad and angry. Did you ever
mhm,
have those thoughts or those emotions where you were, to the point to you were almost angry?
never,
Okay,
never.
okay, okay.
Everything is for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that stress and negativity and pessimism, all that feeds cancer. Cancer takes all that bad stuff that you
Ooh,
bottle up
girl, you
inside
preaching
and
real
use it
good,
against you.
evangelist. Yeah, you preaching real good, evangelist. Oh, we might even call you prophetess, because that you on it right there, prophetess.
Yep.
No, but true story, man. You got so many people out there that, they got so much unforgiveness and so much bitterness, and that cancer hits them, and it's just like on fertilizer, man. I believe the same thing you just said. I really do.
That's what it is. Cancer is just abnormal cells in your body, and it feeds on something bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something bad activates it. So, and believe me, uh, women or people with cancers, breast cancers, they get PTSD, they get depressed. That's also real. Life after cancer, I think, is worse than with the cancer. Now, I beat cancer in 4.5 months. Um, and like I said, I still have radiation left to do, but now I'm suffering from adrenal insufficiency. I have to take a steroid pills twice a day. If
Okay.
not, it'll push me into what they call adrenal crisis, which I went into about a month ago. I spent 4 days in the hospital. Um, so I can get tired, and
Mm-hmm.
so I right now I'm losing weight. Even though the steroids have me eating, I'm steady losing weight. So we're still trying. So now I'm seeing an endocrinologist to manage that. So the doctor's visits don't stop
Mm. Okay.
after you become cancer free. You're still a cancer survivor. You're still battling something that was an effect, a result of the cancer.
Okay. I want to go back to a comment Shakila posted up a little while ago. What are the three top questions women need to ask when the C word comes into play? How does an uninformed person know what to ask?
Initially, when you're told you have cancer, um, the next step is to request an ultrasound,
Mm-hmm.
to request an MRI. Those two things have to take place immediately. They can't answer too many questions until they get the MRI back. They need to know. You need to ask, what size is it? What stage is it? What kind is it? And all that'll come out the biopsy. So one more. So it's ultrasound, biopsy,
Mm-hmm.
MRI. Those three
Okay.
things have to happen after you have your mammogram and they detect a suspicious mass. Now, this is the next thing with electronic health records. You can see your records, or if they mail you something, read the results of your mammogram, your biopsy, your ultrasounds, any radiology reports, MRI. Read it. I Google word by word what
Mm-hmm.
some of that stuff meant to put it together so I have an understanding. Now, this is something I'm admit that I was at fault at when I had my mammogram on February the 3rd, I always go back in and rewrite my reports. But the way my doctor just nonchalantly was like, oh, they couldn't read the mammogram, so they're going to call you back to redo it. I didn't think to go back in and look.
Yeah.
But if I did, it was right there in black and white. Suspicious mass.
Mm.
That would have sparked me to do something. So again, we have to own our health. Our health records are ours. We own it. So go back and read your health records.
Mm.
And the doctors have to notate everything.
But you're a very educated woman. That's easy for you to do. I don't have any formal training, so it's easier said than done.
Yes, I think I was in a better position with my educational background to ask the right questions. And if I could give an example
Hmm.
of that, my medical oncologist, she told me I was going to be on two different chemo medicines. I was going to
Hmm.
do immunotherapy, but then she made a recommendation for um, this other. If I had stage 2 or higher, I would have took what they call Part B or the Red Devil chemo treatment for another 12 weeks.
Hmm.
And it's called Red Devil for a reason. I don't want anything with devil in it put in me. So she said, I have this trial that if for some reason you might need it, one of the prerequisites is that you have to have one dose of the Red Devil. So I'm like, well, why do I need to take something for something I might need?
Yeah.
Like, can I just, if I need the trial, then I'll go take the dose,
Yeah.
right? And so, man, every 3 weeks when I met her, she kept trying to sell me
Wow.
on this trial, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so at the end, I could tell she was acting funny about it,
Hmm.
but I did my research, and then common sense stepped in. Why would you take something you don't necessarily need? And
Right.
that's one of the premature decisions I think uneducated people or people that do not know how to be more resourceful to get the information,
Hmm.
they accept every option that those doctors do. Doctors bring biases with them into the office.
Mm.
So it's for you to decide. Talk it over with somebody that is more knowledgeable that can help you understand that treatment and is it the best treatment for you. So after I decided not to take and I'm getting ready to go to surgery, my other doctor was like, I'm so glad you didn't take that recommendation for that one dose. So, first of all, it was unethical, but two, that lets me know I made the right decision. So, you have the right to challenge your doctors. They're going to put the best case scenario out there for you for the whole um, population.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, Black women being treated for cancer is somewhat different, but they don't have enough information because we don't do trials either.
Hmm. Hmm.
We don't submit to trials.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
so my doctor said when it comes to Black women with triple negative breast cancer, we do not have enough information. So they treat you with a general plan and
Wow.
hope that it works. I've heard medical oncologists say, I'm gonna throw everything at you. I don't want you
Hmm.
to throw everything at me. I want it to be targeted,
Right. Right.
very
Right.
specific. So you have to know what type of breast cancer you have, what are the options in treatment, and you have a right to play a role in what your treatment is.
But what if the doctor is irritated because he wants to do it the way he wants to do it, and I'm not comfortable doing that way? What do I do then? Because I don't want to make my doctor upset. Because he's my only hope to get through this big C word that I'm being confronted with. So I'm just I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm
Change
playing the
doctors.
devil's advocate here, so.
Change doctors. I did it. They sent me to a plastic surgeon.
Uh huh.
And initially, when I went in, they said because I was triple negative, I would have to have a mastectomy. And if you get one, you might as well get both. And me thinking before I did my research, I just want them gone.
Hmm.
But if you do a double mastectomy, you don't get any more mammograms. So how are they going to test?
Wow.
And then it comes back and it's going to come back in a different area.
Yeah.
So, send me to a plastic surgeon. The plastic surgeon, he wants to do fat transfer, tummy tuck, make the titty sit up pretty. I'm like, I'm 55 years old. I really don't care. They ain't getting much use now. So, so I ain't even worried about no fat transfer, no tummy tuck.
Right.
So, so I said, no, if I do the double mastectomy, I'm just gonna go with implants. They're safe or safer and keep it moving. He like, oh, that's just an hour surgery. And he pushed back from me and he walked out. So I went back to my oncologist, my surgical oncologist. I said, I need a different plastic surgeon to go see.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they asked me why, and I told them. And then when I went and saw the next plastic surgeon, he asked me why did I switch, and I told him. He said,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I heard that before." So you have
Yeah.
the right to change it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because I'm in a bad situation doesn't mean, you have a right to treat me bad or, and, I don't know. I'm at a loss of words, Dr. Duchess. I am.
But it's happening. I have a friend that's stage 4 right now,
Hmm.
being treated and just accepting everything that they throwing at her.
Mm.
Um,
Has this whole ordeal taken anything from you?
no, no,
Okay.
no. It's giving me more.
Okay.
It's I put out a post the other day and I just had to smile like I do. And I said when you go through breast cancer, you realize how much you're loved.
Mm.
So no, I gain new people in my life. Um, but I also said this.
Hmm.
Uh, this year I haven't been fighting just the cancer in my body. I've been fighting the cancers in my life.
Mm.
And so there was some other cancers that I had to get rid of too,
Watch
you
it
know?
now.
So it's more than just that cancer in my body. See, that was
Yeah.
gone in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think it's opened my world up to something new, another purpose to help somebody else in a different way.
That was going to be my
Your
next
platform
question.
here.
That
Mhm.
was going to be my next question. How has this changed you, if at all?
Again, I've always had a sense of purpose, but now
Hmm.
I have a new purpose. It's
Yeah.
rejuvenated. I really I'm sitting back because when God gives you something and gives you a person, He's going to provide for it. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm sitting back and waiting for, how to do this.
Hmm.
And I think I realized what I need to do, and that's just to try to touch one person at a time to go get tested. I have a friend here who had to admit to me that she hadn't been in 5 years, but she
Hmm.
went a few weeks ago,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and I'm
Gotta.
I'm
Got.
doing what.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Duchess, for sharing your story, and we just hope that we would begin to change the narrative as we go through different things, because that doesn't have to be the way it ends. We can fight, and we should fight. So it's changed you. You feel like you have a different purpose, or you've been repurposed. The word comes to mind when Jesus looks at Peter and he says that the devil desires to have you that he might sift you as wheat. But I pray that your faith fail not. He went on to tell him, he said, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of strengthening those that you come in contact with.
Well, I think anybody that you come in contact with, you want to leave them better,
Hmm.
um, improve on their life, and especially on this journey. Any advice that I can give somebody so they don't have the level of anxiety that I had.
Hmm.
Um, Good example. Somebody reached out to the mileage bully the other day, and she didn't go. Mileage bully can speak on my having being there by my side during this journey, but she said, "No, I want you to talk to her." And this lady had just been diagnosed a week ago, and
Hmm.
so she's looking for answers. What should I be doing next? What should I
There you
look at?
go.
And so
There
I
you
so
go.
I called her and talked to her. Didn't know her from anybody else. So that's what we need to do. Um, but definitely, I never want anybody to go through this. But if they do, I want to go through it with ease.
Shakila says, if your story reaches one person, you've done your job. Jesus left the 99 for the one. He did indeed. He did indeed.
Yep.
He did indeed. But I'm sure that your story will reach more than one person. I know here in our area, there's one particular group that I know of anyway. It's a cancer support group where there's a group of ladies who have, beat cancer, and some are still fighting it. And they have an official group where they meet and they do different things in the community and things of that nature. Are you a part of one of those, or do you believe in those types of movements?
I do, but I built my own cancer support team.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I have 10 ladies that I reach out to, and they provided me everything that I need, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, everything that I needed. So they were my support team.
hmm
Um,
So, as you come in contact with other young ladies who may be dealing with it, would you adopt them into your group or what have you, or have you not really, put too much thought in that direction?
Well, what I'm trying to promote is for people to do what I did and create their own cancer support team. They only that person knows what they need. I'm hard headed. I needed people like Shaquila and
hmm
Regina and Vaughn and Dr. Bills. I needed them on my team because they know
Yeah.
how to handle me.
hmm
So, like I spoke to the lady the other day, I asked her, "Do you have a support team?" And it's not necessarily family because everybody on my support team, but not a one was family.
hmm hmm
And so I think that people need to build a support team around them of people that they know that's going to give them what they need
hmm
to get through this.
Yeah. Um, look at here, man. Somewhat, Yvonne. She says men need to get tested as well, and which is true. And I think when it comes to men, everybody usually talk about prostate cancer. But
Mhm.
there are other types that we should be tested for as well. Correct?
Correct. Like colon cancer is one of the tests. There's a home kit for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a smear and send it back in. That's the early detection. Um, we hear a lot of pancreatic cancers, and also for women, especially if a woman has cancer and it's recurrent, it can come back as ovarian cancer. Um, is the next area that it will normally come back to for a female. Um, but that's what I can think of. Prostate, colon, and breast cancer are the three that I know of that you can get early tested for.
Okay. Okay. Um, One last question, Shakila. She says Susan G. Coleman is a multi-million-dollar cancer fight. Should people be more committed to big organizations like that, or more centralized options? What would be your opinion, Dr. Duchess?
Well, when I was faced with my diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
immediately I'm like, how am I going to pay my bill? What resources are out there? The VA sent me a packet of resources. UT Southwestern sent me a packet of resources, and the Komen Foundation was one of them. The
Okay.
application is long. Also with the Breast Cancer Foundation, the application was long. I think Susan G. Komen only gives cancer patients $400 a year, once a year. And at the time when I went to think about applying, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't even accepting applications
Oh.
because they were out of funds. Every last single, it was three major breast cancer organizations, they were out of resources. So this is what I would tell people when you donate. What is your purpose? If your purpose is for research, then yes,
Mm-hmm.
give to those big. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure that you've been touched by somebody with breast cancer in your local community that needs a light bill paid, that needs a meal today because they don't have the strength to get up and stand over a stove.
Mm-hmm.
I put this smile on every day, for everybody. But then there was days I couldn't even get up out the bed, and a meal goes a long way. We're going to be strong survivors, uh, but understand that we still need help and support from people in our community. So if you're able to identify somebody that is going through cancer, um, please think about giving them a donation or taking a meal by. We have the holidays coming up. Um, but yeah, I really don't want to speak negative because I really don't know breakthroughs on the large organization when it comes to cures. I know they've made big strides over the years,
Yeah.
but again, this cancer thing is new to me and I'm still learning.
Hmm.
Um, but wouldn't you want to touch somebody individually and make a difference at that level?
Yeah. 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 I would agree with that last part for sure. Dr. Duchess, your smile has come up several times throughout this show, whether you actually doing it or we talking about it. Couple
Okay.
questions about your smile. Is it intentional? Is it strategy? Is it habit? Talk to me a little bit about your smile.
I think it's habit.
Okay,
But now,
is habit? Is there any intentionality to it as well, or you think it's just because it's who you are, so it's more like a habit?
because it's because I've always smiled
Mm-hmm.
in life for everything, even when I was down.
Mm-hmm.
During cancer, I will put that smile on before I go live. I'll put that smile on before I take a picture because I never want to project misery on anybody else. I do not want to bring somebody's day down. And if my smile uh, can assure somebody that I'm gonna be okay, then I'm gonna smile for them,
Mm-hmm.
even through this journey.
Is it ever heavy? I mean, after you've smiled and do you ever get to the point where you be like, where it's just like, I mean, because sometimes we smile, but then we have those moments where we deal with the weight of life, when we're, by ourselves and no one's watching and we, let our hair down or whatever. Is there ever that moment?
Yeah, it's been those moments. There's a few times where I post. If you see me in the bed, it's not a good day, and there
Mm,
was no smile.
mm,
But I sometimes you need to let people know I am going through it. I do have cancer. I am going through chemo, but definitely I want more days where I'm smiling than frowning.
mm-hmm,
Um, I hear it a lot on the streets when I'm flying. I hear it a lot of about my smile. I don't see it that way, but
mm-hmm.
if it makes somebody happy, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep smiling.
they're
I
contagious. Smiles and good attitudes and things like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I ask that is because for me, I would say it's all of the above. It's a habit, but then there are days where it's intentional. There are days when it's strategic, and does that make sense?
It does.
Okay,
It
okay,
does.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Like
All
I
right.
said, intentional. I smile even when I don't want to
Uh
sometimes,
huh. Uh huh.
and a lot of habit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I can see it.
Sometimes we get that smile, but really that smile saying, "Boy, if you only knew how this close going upside your head," but you just saying it through a smile.
Right.
Oh boy, Dr. Duchess, is there? Let's see here. Stacks, he had a question. Will you write a book on how people can get tested and what to look for more?
I'm actually looking at finding ways, and we talked about it. What can you do to empower somebody to go in when they meet with their doctor when they first get diagnosed? And
Yeah.
I think that's critical because depending on the type of cancer, it needs to be treated immediately and
Mm-hmm.
aggressively. If it wasn't for Regina, I wouldn't know that I needed a surgical oncologist, a medical oncologist. I got to go get this. And I would not have known that uh, initially unless I had that. So if I can put together some type of resource guide for somebody as soon as they're being diagnosed to go when they go to a doctor, this is what you need to listen for. This is what you need to check. This is what you need to ask for. So I am thinking about putting something like that together.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Is there anything tonight that we haven't covered that we should have? Anything that you wanted to mention or talk about?
Ooh, we've covered a lot.
We just had a good
Um,
conversation.
it is, but it's so important that it's easy to talk about and not just my journey, but if what do I want to say? Because it hits so home again. You
Hmm.
don't think it's going to happen to you.
Right.
but it could be you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and if it is, are you ready for it? And another thing I like to say is, have you been the friend to someone so when you go through it, you'll get that friendship back? And I have those type of friends.
Mm.
I have those type of friends. And again, you don't want to wait to get right with God. You don't want to wait to get right with people in your life. That when you go through something, because you're going to need people. I
You
don't see
are.
how people work going through this. Um, Man, when I can't stop talking about not just my cancer support team, but my community, the
Mm-hmm.
motorcycle community. I have to keep coming back then because there were so many guys that, hey, I can just text or call, say, hey, I need some help. I've had some to come up and stay the weekend just to fix stuff around the house, do things in the yard, to come cut my grass. These are my biker friends,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So support is another big initiative for me to make sure people have the support that they need to survive because you can't be sitting worried about everything else when you need
Mm-hmm.
to be fighting cancer. You need to be
Right.
focused on just fighting your cancer,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, that positivity. So I think we've covered quite a bit tonight.
Let me ask you this, and I don't want to, take up all your night, but I am enjoying the conversation. Um, you mentioned that cancer didn't take anything from you.
Mm-mm.
What's the worst thing that you've experienced in life?
the worst thing that I the worst thing I've experienced in life was losing my grandmother.
Okay, okay,
Even more so than the cancer. I'm not even afraid of the cancer,
yeah.
but going through life without my grandmother, she left me with a lot of life lessons. But just not being able to talk to her, um, that took that took a lot from me.
What's the biggest thing she left for you? If you had to just pull on one of those memories, whether it be advice, life experience, what would it be?
Live life.
Live life.
My grandmother always told me she allowed me to be whatever I want to be. When I was little, if I wanted to pretend like I was in Hawaii,
Hmm.
I can go pull a roll of paper towels and cut them up like a grass skirt. She wasn't fussing about wasting no paper towels. Now you
Yeah.
better cut that paper towel in half. Um, if I wanted to play the piano, she put me in piano lessons. If I wanted to swim, she put me in swim lessons. So that's why I can do so much,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because of her allowing me to be who I am.
Okay, okay. So somebody's watching today and they heard you say live life. What does that mean to Dr. Duchess? I know you explained what grandma did for you.
Hmm.
Because see, a lot of times our parents or our loved ones or our mentors or whoever, they will tell us something and even, instill something in us, but it means something different to us than what it meant to them as they was instilling it in us. So to live life, what does that mean to Dr. Duchess?
Living life for me is being a free spirit, being able to do pretty much what I enjoy doing when I want to do it.
Hmm.
Whether it's motorcycling, the fishing, the camping, things that not everybody chooses to do. I live my life like that. If I want animals, I go buy animals.
Hmm.
You know, I decide I'm gonna raise chickens today. I go buy some chickens.
Yeah,
Uh, I want to fish out on the lake and on the dock. Go get a boat.
yeah,
So I live my life to enjoy it and to feel free and just not bound by any rules per se.
yeah.
I've done all that. I was a workaholic for many years,
Hmm.
and my goal was to retire by the time I'm 50. I did it at 47.
Hmm.
I went into higher education to help out the college for my church.
Okay.
And then when I retired from that, then I went on to be a flight attendant. But again, I'm doing what I choose to do,
This is for you, Dr.
with no
Duchess.
regrets.
That's for you right there. That's for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah. I do believe I saw a RV on your page that was pulling a boat, and you was getting ready to go out to do some fishing. You had your dog up in the window up there. I said, she living life.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shakila
Yep.
would like to ask you. What did she say? What is your legacy statement? I don't know. I'm lost with Davy Crockett, MacGyver, Bill Dance. I don't know what she's saying with all that stuff. But
Yeah, that's an inside joke.
oh, okay,
But,
okay, okay.
but I would say she's calling a legacy statement. I would say my life philosophy is probably to um, always reflect on the past and be actively present so that I can be better for myself and others in the future.
Okay, okay, okay. She says, if we see you in a fight with a bear, not to help you, but help the bear. So, you know, that's
See, how
amazing.
can I not win with people like that in my
Right,
corner?
right,
You
right,
know?
right. Yeah, because Shakila
Yeah.
tell you in a heartbeat, man. You're not gonna be on her page with a bunch of complaining and I know if she say that for her page, I know she mean that to the 10th degree on her phone line. You don't be calling her with no complaining.
Yeah, there's a song. I listen to a lot of Southern Soul, and there's a song by Maya B. Called Five More Minutes, and I dedicate that to Shakira.
Okay, okay,
I say
okay.
that 5 minutes is real. Don't be calling
Yeah,
me complaining about no cancer.
yeah, man. Shoot. But as Yvonne is stating, the smile says it all. So, if there was something that you needed to take back from the earth, from the world, from life, what would it be? Do you think there's something that you need to take back that life has either, took from you or hidden from you or trying to stop you from getting?
No, because I'm a realist, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe what my life is my reality,
Mm-hmm.
and and you adapt and you go forth with that. So I don't look at life as with any regrets that I need to take back anything. I
Okay.
just keep moving forward, like I said, being actively present and moving forward and making the best of whatever comes your way. And when
Okay.
you strive to live life right, it works out for you.
It works out indeed. It works out. What
Hmm.
airline you fly for?
American Eagle.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, look at here, man. I appreciate you coming on the show tonight. You are welcome on this platform anytime you like. If you, matter of fact,
Thank
when you
you.
when you publish the book, I'd like to get the exclusive interview on the book deal. Okay, when you publish that book, I'd like to have you back on the show and we talk about your book,
Okay.
and things of that nature. And the next time I'm in the Dallas area, we'll make sure we'll stop by and say hello, Dr. Duchess.
Yes, call me up. And also, I'm looking to plan something for October of next year,
Okay.
a breast cancer ride,
Yeah.
to raise funds so that I can directly impact the lives of local breast cancer patients, directly put money in their pocket to cover things that they need right now.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll let you know when that's coming.
Yeah. Keep us posted. We'll help promote it on this end and everything. And if the dates and everything mesh, we'll come down and support it too. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm gonna.
again, I appreciate you
Oh
for
yeah.
your
Absolutely.
platform and giving us this opportunity to share this.
In the spirit of this show, I'm gonna go downstairs as soon as I finish and give my wife a exam, make sure she's good. Because you guys said we got early detection is key, right? So
Right.
yeah, Dr. Retro.
Do your part. Do your
I'm
part.
doing my part. Yeah, I'm doing my part.
Right.
I'm doing my part.
Okay.
Anything you'd like to leave us with, Dr. Duchess?
Last
Advice
word.
or
I need you to go get tested. If you have not been tested in
hmm
the last 12 months, I need you to say cancer. I promise to go get tested. Go schedule you a mammogram. It's available to everybody.
mm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for the one and only Dr. Duchess in the building. It's been fun and it's been a great conversation. I really enjoyed sitting down here tonight talking with Dr. Duchess. We will be seeing her again soon, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't believe she'll be a stranger to the Retro Philosophy Show. And so please share this video with someone you know. If they have tatas, you ought to share this with them, okay? Because early detection is key, and I'm jovial here and everything, but ever so serious. Early detection is key, man. And cancer, even though it seems to be such a, scary thing, it's conquerable. You can conquer it. Okay. So God bless you. Heaven smile on you. Next October, you'll be hearing more about this breast cancer awareness or cancer awareness ride that Dr. Duchess will be doing, and we will play our role in helping to support these endeavors. Because let me tell you this, true story, real talk, no cap. Good people are not as common as you think. And so when you encounter good people, you ought to cherish, you ought to value them, and you ought to take care of them. Okay, I just want to put that out there, man, because Dr. Duchess dropped a bomb on us when she made the mention about cancer. And if you have, you gotta have good thoughts. Oh, okay, we're going to have her back on, and we're going to have another conversation about that at a later date, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's been fun, but I've got to run. We thank you for your time being with us on tonight. And I guess I'll leave you with what are we going to leave you with? We'll leave you with this. Bada boom, bada bang.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.